Alright, got her down to the bare block. What I have found is a tore up main bearing. Yeah, so all my noise was a daggum main bearing. Those are all the rod bearings. This came off of cylinder 1. I mean, that's not terrible, but at the same time it doesn't equate for the metal that's in the bottom of the pan, which is right there. All that is from there. So really, to be honest, all the valve train was okay. I got the cam gear pressed on the new cam. All my main caps still have registers, which is surprising to mess because this one here is kind of black a little bit. So I'm just gonna have to throw it back together and just freaking run it. I honestly just I would have to get I guess a replacement engine, but like I said, I'll just run this until the freaking rod goes through the block. That's all I can do. Let's see. So the block is fine. It's just that one bearing got worn. So I know that's goes against every engine building code, but cylinders are still good. Cam bearings are good. Lifter bores are good. I'm just gonna wash it all down with brake cleaner and put a film of oil on it and put it all back together. I mean, that's all there is to it. So yeah, I wasn't expecting, I really was not expecting a bearing to be trashed, but it wasn't spun, it was just tore up. So I guess that's it. So I'm gonna go ahead and wash this block down and get a coat of oil on everything so it doesn't flash on me, and get the new pistons put on those rods and just freaking throw it back together. Yeah, so all right, it's the next day. Got my sidekick. So I know this looks bad, but I'm using what I have. So anyway, so I got some sleep over it. Got me thinking. So the reason I feel that this main bearing had crashed out was because when it got over revved, the lifter done its thing, then push rod, whatever the crap. I think it lost enough oil pressure with that, and it caused it to chew it up a little. So along with the torque of everything else. But anyway, so I got that crank journal pretty much sanded down. It's not a mirror finish, but it's damn near clean, you know, a lot better than what it was, because it had all this pretty much transferred on it. So, but they got all cleaned up. So yeah. So now I'm going to finish torquing these main bolts down. I gotta turn them to 90 degrees, and then that'll be it. I'll pretty much stand it up. Well, I'll spray these off again because there's freaking dust on them. But I'll stand it up, go ahead and get the pistons rebuilt, which are right there, and then get the pistons put in it, and yeah, just keep on going from there. Hopefully I'll have her back in and fired up today. That's the goal. That is the goal. So all right, let's keep going. All right, I know I didn't film it going back together, but I'm really trying to get this thing back together. So as you can see, it is a complete engine again. No complaints going back together. The only thing that I was dreading, and I know I had to do it, but the 3 90-degree turns for the daggum head bolts. That was tiring. You torque them first at like 170 something inch-pounds, I think it was, and then 36 foot-pounds, and then a second round of 36 foot-pounds. And I see the reason why of that, the second round of 36, because it's a multi-layer gasket, so as you're compressing it, I mean, other bolts come loose. I mean, that's all there was to it. The ones on the bottom were still tight, but the ones on the top were, they turned a little bit. So, and then after that second set, or the second 36 foot-pounds, you have 3 times of 90-degree turn. So 90, 90, 90. So pretty much 3/4 turn after you torque them. No, I take that back. After the 36 foot-pounds, it's 144, I think. I think that's what it is. There's like 7 freaking steps. I already forgot. But it is almost 8 o'clock now. Wife wants to go get food, so I'm gonna have to call it a day here, and I guess I'll end this as tear down and put back together. Like I said, I know I didn't pretty much tear down and just figure out the cause, and like I said, the only cause of the whole entire noise that this thing had in part 1, and also my oil pressure issue, is that one main bearing. So that was everything else. Everything else looked good. All the other main bearings and all the rod bearings looked good. So I got lucky on that. An oil pump, there was nothing scratched around in it, so the oil pump was still good, and its housing was good. So I just sent it back together with, again, the new parts, new pistons, rods, new pistons, rings, camshaft, lifters, push rods, rocker assemblies, all new gaskets, new mains and rod bearings again. And like I said, that crank journal, I did just pretty much just sand it down and just pretty much made a DIY polish on it. That's all I could do. The thing turns over, so it's not locked up, so that's a big win right there. Because I have put this thing together before, and you know, the daggum thing, you couldn't turn it with a 4-foot bar, and that's scary. So, but this one is good to go now. Like I said, I'm gonna get it back in tomorrow. I'm in this part right here, and I guess I'll see you guys on the first startup. So, all right, thanks. All right, so I hope this isn't, looks like it's fuzzy, because it is fuzzy. I think we're good. Look what's right there. Yeah, buddy. Alright. Sorry, I just took the camera out of the daggum, took it out of the house, and it freaking fogged up. Anyway, it's back together from over there. Boom. Alright, so I did not film my first start. I'm sorry. I don't know why, I just can't film my first starts. I get so anxietized and anxious to make sure the dang thing don't fly to pieces when it fires up. So yeah, I just gotta, that got ahead of me. So this thing's still fogging up. God damn it. So I'm sorry guys, but I'll still let y'all hear it and look at the oil pressure, and it 100% difference. There's I'm gonna make a separate video on this, but I figured out something else on these return lines, because I got back from my test drive and daggum, freaking there was fuel pouring all from the oil filter because it was running down the side. But I got that fixed quick, fast, in a hurry. Anyway, so let's get on up in here. There's oil pressure. So as you can see, the temp, it's pretty much up to temperature. So yeah, I know fuel level's low. So it has not been below, here, let me turn this on. It hasn't really been below that while idling. I'm gonna go up to 1500 and let y'all see it. I'm gonna go up to 2000. Alright, I'm gonna let it go back to idle. I'm gonna tell you guys, this truck has not, here, hang on. And no more sound like it's gonna come apart at 2000 RPM either. Let that turbo slow down a little bit before I turn it off. But there is one leak. It is on the front of the oil pan where it goes and connects to the front cover. Now you can't really see it, but it's a little wet. Hang on, let me turn this thing off. Like I said, I've already drove it, so it's freaking immaculate. So, alright. So here's the deal. The leak on the front of the oil pan is from me putting that front cover on after the oil pan. I should have put the front rear cover on before the oil pan. And I didn't. And that's what I get for it. So I am honestly not going to take the dang thing back out, because one, I don't want to pull that transmission out again, and two, I don't want to pull the freaking lower oil pan off, or the upper oil pan off again. So I'm actually gonna get I'm gonna get a quote from my dealer and dealership and see how much they cost to how much they charge to do that, because if I had a lift, yeah, by all means I would freaking go for it in a heartbeat, but I don't, and it's gonna be a pain in the butt for me. But anyway, that's it. She's good. At first that leak was actually worse than it was. I kind of put a little band-aid goo on it and it slowed it down tremendously. It's just one little spot in the middle of that oil pan. You know, I'll tell you what, let me just go over here and show you where it's leaking from. There's all my scrap. Anyway, it's leaking right here, nowhere else. I brake cleaned the crap out of it and just started up and watched it, and it's just leaking out like right here in this little spot. So I probably nicked this gasket when I was sliding the front cover on. And that gasket is the top. It's like the like a diamond shape, if you think about it in a way, if you look at it from end, if you cut it in half, you know. And that one there is like a round type. or the cylinder, whatever you want to call it. But either way, I gotta get those heads put up before they get ruined. Actually, I think I'll just want to resell those. So yeah, that's it. That did fix my issue. That fixed my oil pressure. That fixed oil pressure fluctuation. That actually fixed my noise. So that one bearing on the rear is what killed it. So and yeah, like I said, when it got over revved, technically it didn't get over revved, but it did in a way. It wasn't, the red line of these are 3,700 RPM, and like I said, it was between 35 and 4,000, really a little more on the 4,000 side, but at the same time it should be able to temporarily handle that, not extended handle that. And like I said, there was no power added, it was just a coasting rev. So I think when that happened, the push rod done its thing, or the valve lifter, whatever, done its thing, and it dipped oil pressure volume, because I did have the 530 in it, which is the thinner oil at the time, and the crankshaft done that. I mean, that's the only thing I can figure. It done that enough to where the oil film got dissipated, and it made contact with the bearing and just you know, chewed up 2 layers on that tri-metal bearing. So the outer that will make contact with the oil film, the second layer, and that's it. So the third layer it didn't touch. And like I said, it just metal transferred. It didn't grab the bearing and wrap it around, which I was very pleased with that. So the crankshaft, like I said, I DIY'd backyard, freaking just sandpapered the crap out of it, got all that material, transfer material off of it, smoothed back up, torqued it all back down again, and you can rotate the thing, you know, with ease with a, you know, a short tool on the end of the crankshaft. So, and obviously it's back together, and this is what I got. So like I said, out of the whole rebuild, if I were to have to do it again, it's gonna get another block. I'm just gonna get another block, and probably the full kit from Diesel Performance that comes with the crankshaft and rods and all that crap. So this one here, like I said, depending on what happens, if I have to redo it all over again, it's gonna get a fresh block, because you know this block has been through it. This is number 3. This is number 3 that block's been tore apart this far down. So that's it. No, I take that back. It's been two. The first one is when I tore it down and put it back together. The first time, got it running. Then that's when the over ref happened, and then the second time is this time. So yeah, I guess the very first time was when factory put it together. But like I said, it spun all the bearings at that point. So either way, yeah. So I hope I kind of shine some light on some others that are having the same issue potentially. I recommend some kind of oil pressure gauge on these trucks. I get that the 17 ups, or I don't know about 20 plus, but I know the 17 has a, you know, a swing that lets you know, hey, it's got the minimum oil pressure. This one has a indicator on the message board that says low oil pressure. But I personally, having come from, you know, older, finer things, I like seeing mechanical oil pressure. That's just how I am. So, and that's what really drove me to doing this far. Like, if I wouldn't have had that, I would just let it run. And like I said, with having a mechanical gauge too, you can watch your pressure. I mean, that's just all there is to it. You can watch what's happening with your engine as you're driving all the time. If it dips below something when you're normally cruising, that's an immediate issue that you have caught right there, and you can pull over, or, you know, shut your truck down and investigate, whatever. That's what I like about that, because usually when it dips below, I think it's 5, it's either 5 or 7 psi, I can't remember. Your message pops up and then it goes away, and then, you know, it's like, hey, what the crap's going on? But with a mechanical gauge like mine was, it's sitting there doing this right here while it's holding a steady RPM, and it should not be doing that. So it should be a shoot up and hold it, no matter constant. Then when you bring it down, obviously it's going to drop the pressure just because of the speed of the oil pump itself. But either way, that's it. So I guess thanks for tuning in. Hope I again, hope I shine some light on some things for other folks. But either way, she's ready to rock and roll. Like I said, that oil leak, I'll just keep an eye on it, make sure it's, you know, just doing whatever. If it gets bad again, like I said, I'll just take it somewhere that somebody that has capability of lifting the truck up and dropping the transmission and doing the oil pan. Because like I said, for me personally, I would have to I would pretty much probably jack the engine up. I don't know. I would jack the engine up and pretty much just drop the pan down. But again, that entails taking all this mess back down, jacking the cab up, and then I really don't want to think about that right now. So, all right. And like I said, it's easiest for someone just to drop the transmission and pull the freaking pan out. So, all right, guys. Stay tuned for more, because like I said, I don't post a lot, but when I have things come up, I try to get them out there, and you know, I teach y'all what I learn, and sometimes the feedback from y'all teach me. So that's it.